I'm going to be talking about everything outside of the house, so like landscaping and things like that that go along with the house, but it's not directly related to your actual design. So here we have the house from previous episodes. So I'm going to go over to this terrain configuration panel right here. So you can see it changes all the menus on top to ones that have to do with terrain and landscaping. So the first thing you're going to want to do is this far left thing. This is create terrain perimeter. So we click that and we get this new green, looks like a forest green box that's around our house. And we can see right now it's about 100 feet by like 54 feet. So this is going to be the size of the lot we're dealing with. So I'm going to change it and say it was like 75 feet by 100 feet. And then I'll use the uh, center anchor point to move the house into the center of the lot, and I'm actually going to position the house more towards the back of the lot. So you can see that there. I'm actually going to select the house and use the triangle anchor to rotate it so that the door is facing towards where the street's going to be. So let's say this house is just going to be like an average like subdivision home. So the first thing I'm going to start with is a road. So you can see here straight road, and we click, it will drag, and it creates the road. So if we drop in a camera, we can see the new terrain that has been created by that box, which is this grassy plain right here, and then we see the road right here with curbs and stuff. So now that we have that, we can continue on and make a driveway. I'm just going to fix the roof because that bothers me. So now I'm going to do a driveway. So let's go back to the plan view, and let's go over here and we'll choose a straight driveway, and we can draw it just like that. But there's also other options. So we could do like a polyline driveway. So we can have different options to change. So we can make different angles and things like that if you wanted to make a more interesting driveway. But for right now, I'm just going to leave it as a rectangle like this. Next, I'll do a little sidewalk up to the front door. So if I can find the sidewalk tool, which is right here, I'll do a polyline sidewalk, drag it out like this, and then I'll do another one like this to connect it. There we go. I'll drop in, look at the camera just to make sure it all looks right. There we go. Now we got a driveway and a little walkway up to the house. And now we can, now that we have this main infrastructure done, we can look at some other options. So first thing we'll look at is, I'll drop the camera back in, and then we'll look at changing what this grass material is. So just like other objects, you can click on this grass and you can open the object for modification. You can change the thickness, things like that. You can change the triangle count, which will make it look higher definition. But then we can go down here to materials and we can change the terrain. So if we go to the materials, we can do leaves, all these different types of grasses. Um, so there's tons of different options. Like if you wanted to do mulch or something like that, you can. So I'm just going to go through these grasses and let's do some grassy grass. Like okay, I'll also change the terrain skirt to the same material and click OK. So now you can see it's a much brighter green, and you can see the thickness is right there. So you can see the foundation that goes underneath the ground like that. So now we have the grass picked out. Now we can do some trees. So if we go into here, into our library browser, we can go into plants, and then we can find some trees. We'll do some deciduous, and you can look, if you select the folder, it'll preview all the different types of trees inside. So I like the way this one looks, and let's go just for this basic one. Right there, we click, and then it creates the tree like that. You can see it's actually like a 2D image, but it rotates with the camera. And that's how those work. There's also ones that are actually uh, that look different. See, and there's a different type of tree for that. Um, we could also do like shrubs, things like that. So let's get here. Maybe we could do something like that and put some of those around the driveway. Sometimes it's easier to do it from the plan view so you can see exactly where you're placing these things down, because sometimes in the 3D view they can get a little messed up. So I'll put these all around the driveway. There's a little walkway up to the house. Just fix this one. There we go. And then one other thing that we can add is a fence. So if you come up here, there's a fence tool right here, straight fencing. So we'll do like a little fence between the road and the house, just like that. And we'll make sure this goes all the way to the edge of the property. There we go. We can drop back in the camera, and there we see this little design we have for the house right now. You could also notice there's this picture that serves as the background that also stays still when you rotate it. So if you want to change that, if you go to backdrops, the backdrop folder, there's tons of different options. So you could do like a city background with other houses there. Uh, you could do just like a flat ground look with all these different options. So let's go maybe like grassy, and now you can see we have that background for the house. So those are pretty much the main options you'll be looking at when you're doing the exteriors.